because it made no sense to a lot of people. All it was that Straczynski was trying to show that everybody in comics felt this way. And it was, to a certain extent, it was us, because we know the character so well. But regardless, I kept on hearing people say, the man's a multi-murderer, mass murderer, why would he be upset about this? It was a wink and a nudge from the writer to the comic industry and so on. After the attack, Marvel, I don't know how quickly, after they just decided they wanted to do a tribute. So they approached me about doing it, and I said, there's no way I'm going to capitalize on such a horrible event. And then they explained to me, it's not that way, we're going to do this with the money, and we're going to donate this, and so on. Okay. And they proceeded to explain what they had in mind. And then I spoke to Straczynski, and it was beautiful. And he actually was struggling with how to do it when he told somebody, literally, he said, there are no words. And then froze and wrote down there are no words on a piece of paper, and that's what the basis of the story was. When it was handed to me, I read it, and it was beautiful. And it was an interesting thing that I usually remember everything I've done. When I draw a page, I can look at the page and remember who was in the room with me, where I was at the time, what I had eaten that day. See, more food stuff, I'm Italian. And I look at those pages and I don't remember anything about it. Not that it was hard, not that it was rough on me as compared to all the people that went to hell, but it just was a blank, and I had to put reference up in front of me every day to update the pit, so to speak. And if everybody remembers Clockwork Orange, where your eyes are propped open and you become numb to it. Well, I didn't become numb to it, but I had to look at this horror every 5 minutes of every day, and it took all the joy out of it. However, working with Scott, and Scott and I just had to work on it. We had to get it done. It was a brilliant script. We got it done, and I don't remember much about it other than I can't open the book, and I don't think anybody else can open it without getting choked up. But I have one good story, and I've been telling it. I got to tell this story because every time I tell it, I want to tell it again. Scott and I went to Las Vegas to sign the first week of the release of that book, and at the store that we were at, I think it was Desert Wind Comic. I think it was Desert Wind. If anybody knows better, tell me. And a fire department came, a group of firemen came in, local firemen came in. They wanted to see the book. They'd heard about it. And these guys were acting as if we were superheroes or something like that, which was silly. They wanted to see it. They were reading, wow, this is wonderful, how fantastic. These guys, as soon as the attack happened, got into their truck after working for 12, 20 hours and drove cross country to Manhattan. They were, behind them was a bunch of guys from San Diego, and they drove their trucks all night long until they got to Manhattan. Well, they were revering us for doing a comic book, these superheroes. We sat down, we signed, and Scott and I have vowed to remark every one of those issues, no matter how long it takes. And we keep on getting tons of them without us having marked on it. Someday we're going to run into it and have us remarked from 10 years ago, 20 years ago, but it's so important to us because of those guys. And we talk about it. The two of us were sitting there with tears running down our eyes, and these guys were saying, you guys are great. But shut up. Are you out of your mind? You guys are superheroes. And friends that lost co-workers, and a buddy of mine's a cop, lost 43 of his people in his division. A fireman who lost 43 of his friends. All of this comes into play. These guys wanted to talk to cartoonists. And you need to know these are heroes, superheroes. These guys in Las Vegas and guys in San Diego. And I cannot stop talking about that because I love to cry.
That's a great story. Thank you. So,